Hello and welcome to Sahelnetworks, November 9, 2025. Today, I want to emphasize on mastering the concept of EtherChannel and spanning tree. EtherChannel or LAG, depending of your vendor. If you are configuring the extreme network equipment, you have the talk about LAG, link aggregation. It is the same concept as EtherChannel. All right. So why am I emphasizing on the concept? If you don't master the concept, you will have hard time being successful out there in the production. You will be sent to any customer to troubleshoot the anomaly related to the network, and you will not even find or resolve the issue because you lack of the concept of mastering the concept. I emphasize on that. You will master the concept in two ways: learning the theory, but at the end of the day, putting work into the praxis, into the simulation. If you haven't downloaded and installed the Cisco packet tracer, my friend, do it right away. You need it. And nowadays, you don't need to buy physical network gear to start learning the IT networks. You have different virtual environment application like Cisco packet tracer in this case, which help you leverage all those constraints. And what you need else is only the internet, your PC internet. That's all. My sister, don't postpone to tomorrow. Don't let anybody tell you that networks is difficult. It is a mindset. It is how you tackle things. It's how you learn to tackle those things. The concept is what you need, and you need the simulation environment. I've already uploaded some video regarding EtherChannel spanning tree. Check those videos. But what I will emphasize on here for you to master or to be at the same page like I am is to ask questions. Any question you have two possibilities to ask me questions, either per comment under the videos or send me email. You know where to find my email address in the channel on YouTube. By the way, be so kind, like, share, and subscribe, and activate the notification bell so that you don't miss any other new content I will be uploading. Okay, having said that, why EtherChannel? After this couple of content, I will allow you to be the master in configuring, but also troubleshooting issue related to EtherChannel to spanning tree. In that goal, we can only achieve if you ask questions. If you don't ask questions, I will not know where you still have issue, where you still have problem of understanding. I'm taking here example for real life to translate them into the IT network, but they cannot be translated one-to-one. I know there are some limitations, there are some constraints, but my goal here is for you to first visualize, to have an idea what that means. If you have an example in the real life and you want to translate that into the IT network to make it easier for you to understand how the network is working. But of course, at the end of the day, to be a professional is just to emphasize on the differences. Okay, and the differences is where you get a deep dive into the concept. Okay, if I'm comparing a highway with different lanes to EtherChannel, yes, some will say it is a bad example. It depends on which angle you look at that comparison. Yeah, on the highway, there might be some lanes where it is required only to drive 100 kilometers per hour. Although some lanes is 200, 300 or more, like in Germany we have. Those are the limitation. Okay? But the objective here to understand that having more lanes makes your traffic be more fluid. You avoid, you can load balance your traffic. This is the concept I want you to understand in having EtherChannel. In the EtherChannel though, you cannot have one of the links running 100 megabit and the other 1 gig. You cannot mix them together. Okay? So let's jump into the comparison we want to make here, the concept I want you to understand. The purpose of EtherChannel is to group links to enhance bandwidth in order to increase your bandwidth. Just figure out you have 2 switches. You connect them back to back with 2 or 3 or 4 cables. Let's keep on 3 cables. Now, you already have what is called a loop. If you remember the video regarding the ARP, Address Resolution Protocol, you're causing loop. What will spanning tree do? Spanning tree will block at least 2 of those 3 ports. 2 of those. Why I say 2? Because if your switches are also connected to other switches and so on, it can also turn that spanning tree block all those 3 ports. Okay? But let's keep on spanning block only 2. Meaning 1 link is used. Your customer will stay there and think like, oh, I've connected the switches with 3 cables. I thought my communication will be faster. I'm still operating at the same speed as before. Yeah, it is what he's told. To have it faster, you have to go there and build the port channel, bundle also 3 physical links to 1 logical link. That is the function of EtherChannel, the goal. And by doing that, you have the redundancy. You provide failover within the bundle. If 1 link fails, the customer will not, or the user will not even realize that you have an anomaly in the network. Spanning tree on the other end provide that in another way. It blocks 1 redundant links. It blocks at least 1 redundant links, meaning that if the active links fails, then spanning tree will activate the link that were in blocking before. But you lose some time, okay? Because it still have to go through the different status from blocking to listening to learning and to forwarding. Okay, the efficiency is obvious with EtherChannel. It employs all links within the bundle. All links within the bundle are used. Load balancing. Spanning tree restricts some link to reduce load. The use case. When you use spanning tree, when you use EtherChannel, this is for high performance network needs and load balancing. The spanning tree, in your large network, you want to avoid loops. Reason why it is there to block some port. Okay. What are the requirements for EtherChannel to form? Now we emphasize on EtherChannel. As I said already, can you have, since understand the concept, you have multiple links bundled into 1 logical. Those multiple links should be on the same duplex and same speed. You cannot have some link running in 1 gig and other running in 100 megabit. Means some links are faster than others and you bundle them into 1 logical. No, it doesn't work. Okay? You cannot have some link running in half duplex and some in full duplex. Doesn't work. You cannot have some links have a different tagging, different VLAN trunking and other not. You cannot have some link being in access mode and other in trunk mode. You cannot have different spanning tree STP or spanning tree setting at layer 2 stage, or for example, having different coupling configured with spanning tree port fast, some with BBTO guard or root guard or guard root. So you can have those. You can also have EtherChannel at layer 3, meaning you have to configure the no switch port. These are either on the this is on the layer 3 device, on a layer 3 device. So you can have some configured with no switch port and other is on the access is configured with access port. No, it will not work. Or other assigned to different routing contexts, like in VRF, different zone, different VRF. No. And you should also have, you cannot mix the static EtherChannel configuration with LACP or with PAGP. LACP being the IEEE standard, being the standard protocol. So this point you have to really take care of, understand this concept, guys. It is important. Otherwise you will have hard time troubleshooting your network, understanding and proposing the right path for the solution. Okay? The common cause of failure. I mean, based on what I have already laid down so far, you could come up with the reason for cause of failure. It is most of the time the mismatch. Can be the mismatch of the, look this way. You have two switches connected with many cables that you bounded them into one logical. The configuration on both sides should match. They should be the same. The duplex, the speed should match. Okay? The VLAN trunking, those are the configurations, should match. Yes, of course, you will ask me if the description should match also. Description is optional. Okay? That doesn't play a role. But the core configuration should match. You may also have on the optical fiber port connectivity, you can also have a UDLD, which lead to a cable failure. It can be a cable failure, can be your SFP, small form pluggable failure. You should check that. Those can lead to your EtherChannel not to form. Watch out. Okay? Guys, girls, understand the concept. If you master the concept, never mind which kind of issue or question Cisco will ask you, you will master it. You will come up with the right solution, the right answer. Okay? This is the goal right here. Anyway, ask the question. If you compare PAGP with LACP, PAGP being a Cisco proprietary, what does it mean? It means that you will never find PAGP configure between two devices from two different vendors like Cisco and HP. PAGP is only between Cisco devices. Okay? And LACP is IEEE standard. So you can configure Cisco devices with HP in LACP. That is standard. You have between Cisco and your server like ASIC server, like storage, it is LACP. But what I want to emphasize here is look the different mode PAGP operate on and the mode LACP operates on. In which mode the PAGP do not form EtherChannel. It is when you configure both sides to auto. If you configure both sides to auto, it will not form. For example, you can have a question in your exam like Cisco present you two configuration of two switches which are connected back to back with 2 or 3 cables, and the port channel is configured as auto on both sides. And they will ask you, what should one of the sides be configured to which mode in order to form? It is obvious. One side should be configured to desirable Otherwise, it will not form. In alto, the port do not speak. They do not. They are silent. They do not request the other side to form the port channel width. Okay, it is the same thing. The same thing applies to LACP. Passive. It doesn't form. You can have passive active or active. Okay, so if you have, for example, one of the questions they can drop it is like they configure one side to desirable and the other side to passive. What do you think it will form? Of course not. You are mixing one side is configured for PHP and the other side is configured for LACP. It will not form. And in that question, as I say, one side is desirable and one side is passive, right? Okay. That question they can require you to answer in a specific way. If they said the protocol necessary here should be IEEE standard, you cannot go there and one side was desirable, you say you configure the other side to auto. You are configuring PHP. It is IEEE standard. One side was passive, right? You should only go there and say we configure the other side to active. Because IEEE standard means they want you to configure LACP. You should understand those principles. If you don't get that, you will have your the question you will not be able to answer the question, right? And that will lead to what you will have in production. You will not be able to troubleshoot properly issue when you go to customer, when you're in the customer network, or even in your own networks. So guys, understand the concept. It is important. The video will be long, but it's worth it for me to emphasize on those things. I have some short video in the channel. Watch those. As I said, ask questions. It is important. Conclusion here. EtherChannel is a powerful feature that allows us to combine multiple physical links into one logical link. By doing that, what we aim to do is to increase the bandwidth and to provide redundancy of the networks. Because if you have many ports, many physical links combined to one logical, and even one link fails, the user doesn't even realize that there's an issue in the network. Yeah, you will get notified in your monitoring environment and so on. Okay, and as an admin administrator, you will know there's something wrong somewhere, and you can go there and correct the issue. But the user will not even realize. Okay, and having a port channel. One of the other thing is if you have a port channel composed with only 2 physical links. It is pretty easy to come later if you have a problem regarding the bandwidth. You want to increase also to add a second link, a third link to the port channel, to add the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. It's pretty easy. And by doing that, you will not cause a network disruption, right? Adding or removing ports from or to the port channel do not cause a traffic disruption. User will not even realize. Okay, guys, this has been a little bit long. As I said, emphasize on the concept. This is all. If you don't understand the concept, you'll have time configuring your network. You'll have hard time designing your network. You'll have a hard time troubleshooting. And people will tell you IT network is difficult, and you will say, yes, it's difficult. It is not if you emphasize on the concept. Okay? You don't have to be stressed or whatever. Emphasize on the concept, and you will see that you will work freely, happily, and with confidence. This is what we are trying to achieve here.